This part of screencast is going to deal with base analysis, extended analysis, and analysis kit. So we are using ESLint, and as soon as we um, so before that, I'm just going to show you or what our configuration looks like. So initially we just had npm test and test coverage .sh script files in the build part of it. Now we're going to add another script, which is the static analysis script, which is going to run the ESLint command. It's a very basic script file. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this, and see. And now I'm trying to push some code. Okay, so my working directory is clean, so I'll just have to add some comment here again, like I did earlier. And let's see. So I'm just alright, so we just pushed some the basic change that we made, and now let's see what happens to the build. So this is pending. So I expect it to fail primarily because not because there are some errors in the code, but so ESLint for now does not recognize any Mocha environment variables. I'm just going to put so this was the file that is also going to be passed. So ESLint so far doesn't know what describe is, and it also doesn't know what IT is. So it is going to consider it as an error and suggest that the build has failed. So we're going to look at the output of how that's going to happen. Alright, so the build finished and the result was a failure, and we can see a lot of warnings here with an extra semicolon. So semicolon is not an issue at the moment. So these are the errors that I was talking about, describe and it. So we're gonna fix this quickly and try to push the code again. So ESLint has its own file, conf file. So I'm just gonna add Mocha environment variables here. So next time ESLint will consider those describe and IT to be genuine code statements. Now we're gonna commit and let's see what happens. Right, so we push the code and let's see what is gonna happen. So it's building. So this was the static analysis part of it, and since we are rejecting builds on basis of any errors in the errors according to ESLint, that takes care of our analysis gate. And the next part that we're going to demo is extended analysis. So as mentioned here, like for extended analysis, all we're doing is finding out the ratio of comments to code, and for that we have a separate script called extended analysis.sh. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to our workspace configuration build. So that is one, and the other thing, so it's going to be dot slash scripts slash alright, let's see if the commit right. So I'm just gonna apply. So we have a look at the previous commit, and since we had fixed the Mocha issue, the build was successful and there was no problems with the build. And so as you can see, so there was 0 errors with 46 warnings, but because there was 0 errors, there was the commit went through. So now we look at so I'm just gonna make some change and so. And let's just remove the comment again and try to push again. There's an easy way to, like, I could just go into Jenkins and say build now, but this is just to demonstrate that the pipeline is working right from the git commands on the local machine. So now we're going to look at extended. So this was the latest build, and this is going to be in process. I'm just going to pause while this build finishes and then resume back again. So this resulted in error because we forgot to add permissions to the extended analysis script. So this was not expected. So we just added permission to this script, and then we just pushed parallelly. So we're just gonna go back and look at so this is the commit where we made the change, and as you can see, it's right now being built. So at the end of this script, we should expect it to work. So I'm just going to pause until the script comes up. Until the build succeeds. So the build is finished, and as we can see, it's a blue ball. So that means that the build has been successful. We'll go ahead and look at the console output. Yeah. So as you can see, there was no problem with the static analysis, and the extended analysis showed us what was the ratio of comments to code, and so this was the part of our extended analysis. So this was the last script that we involved, and it was and this is the cumulative result of all the scripts that were involved in the build process. So we just quickly go through all the steps that were taken to have the successful pipeline. So first thing was the npm install that took place, and then there was the npm test which happened. This was a success as well. And then we were looking at our coverage, and we had the criteria of coverage to be greater than 75, and therefore the code could pass. And then the other part was the static analysis, which just looked at the basic errors using the ESLint configuration file. And then we added extended analysis, and in the first part of the video we showed like how we are using pre-commit hooks to disregard commits which involved code having keys. So this was all Myson 2 about.